Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome, one and all. I am ever so grateful that you have joined me today on yet another beautifully magical day. Every day can be a magical day if you so choose for it to be. We have magic within us. We have magic speaking to us all of the time. It's just, are we listening to it? Are we being too stubborn? Are we allowing our conscious mind to have the better of us? And are we listening to that side of our brain most of the time? And most of us are, because we're human, and that's the human experience. And it takes a lot of work, a lot of practice, and a lot of letting go in order to really start to trust yourself and to trust your intuition. I feel so incredibly grateful that this process, learning to listen to my intuition, has been quite the journey. I'm extremely stubborn, as I know most humans are, but I'm extremely stubborn. I'm very bullheaded. When I want it one certain way, my way, that's the way it's going to go. And I have a hard time accepting otherwise. And so because of those traits, I have had a hard time in my life with really learning to listen to my intuition. And over the last 20 years, I think I've learned to do a pretty good job. And now I have the amazing opportunity every day, well, 3 days a week at least, to help others learn to listen to theirs. Because in my opinion, there is nothing better that we can do for ourselves, no greater tool that we can have in our life than our intuition, than learning to trust it and listen to it, because it never lies. It's always right, always guiding us in the right direction, always looking out for us, always picking us out of those holes. And so why don't we listen to it? Because we're human, because we're stubborn, because we're bullheaded, because of a million different reasons, because we think maybe it needs to be something different than it is. And it's not. It's actually incredibly simple. We make everything complicated as humans, literally everything. We could take the tiniest simple thing and make it uber complicated. Mountains out of molehills. We're really, really good at that, especially when it comes to our intuition. And so one of my absolute favorite things to do ever is to help people learn to listen to their intuition, to learn to understand their mind, body, and spirit connection. And so coming up this summertime, unfortunately, I can't do it any sooner, but coming up this summertime, I'm going to be offering an online program that is one-on-one. And I'm only going to have so many slots available every month. But what I have organized is a way to work with you no matter where you are once a week. And what we will do is help you learn about yourself. Understand who you are, why you are here, what lessons you came to learn, and ultimately, and most importantly, how to listen to your intuition so you have this super incredible tool to last you throughout your journey. Because with this tool, you can heal yourself and you can have the most magical life ever. With listening to your intuition, what you're doing is igniting your magical personality in essence. We have all these aspects of us, and so many of us allow our higher self or our intuition to stay subdued or extremely quiet. But it's always there, always there. And it just takes a little practice, a little getting to know, and also a little getting out of our own way in order to ignite that within us. And so look forward to that coming up this summer and reach out to me if you're interested, and I will get you on the list so you can get a spot as soon as possible, as soon as I get everything scheduled and up on my website. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because today I want to talk about our intuition. And I want to talk about all the different ways that we get in our way with it. So I had a client recently who I was helping understand this a little bit. And she came in really expecting her intuition to hear. She wanted to hear with her ears and she wanted to see with her eyes. She wanted to see full on vivid pictures with her eyes open wide. And she wanted to hear things loud and clear in her ears. It took me a little bit to help her understand that that's not the way that it works. That's not the way that it works at all. There are very rare occasions where we will see things with our eyes. And maybe there actually are some people who are able to see things with their eyes. But the majority of us who are working on our intuition, that's not the way it is for us. The way that it typically is for someone who's not extremely gifted is in your mind's eye and in your mind's ears. And the intuition is so extremely subtle. And so it's these tiny whispers, very, very subtle whispers. And they sound like your own thoughts. So they're very hard to discern between your conscious mind thoughts and your intuitive thoughts. But the difference with your intuitive thoughts is that they kind of come really quick, like a flash, like a light bulb, like an inspiration. They come very quickly. They come in and you hear this thought that wasn't something you were already thinking, or the vision comes in, this quick flash of a picture in your mind's eye, in the same way that you would see when you are dreaming. Inside there, when your eyes are closed, you can see pictures. In the same way, if I were to ask you, what does a rainbow look like? You can close your eyes and you can see that rainbow. It's a very subtle picture. It might be pretty foggy, but there, within your mind, in your mind's eye, you can see that picture. That very subtle picture. And so when we look at listening to our intuition, we can't expect it to be this vibrant, solid, loud thing. That's not the way it works. And it's not the way that it works because our higher selves require us to do the work. Imagine it like this. They are our parents, our own self parents, because our higher self is just a higher dimensional aspect of us. So it is like our parent looking back on the younger version of ourselves, essentially, trying to help this child grow up properly. And what parent is going to do everything for that child? Are you going to always tie that child's shoes and cut up their food for them and help them go potty? I won't be crude. Usually when I talk about this, I say it differently, but I won't be crude here on the podcast. You can use your imagination. But you wouldn't do this for your child because you would be causing extreme harm. You wouldn't be teaching them how to become a self-sufficient human. You would be doing a really bad job as a parent. Your kid wouldn't learn anything. Our higher self feels the same exact way about us. If they do everything for us, then we don't learn. And what good is that for us in our journey? It literally makes the whole thing pointless. We have lessons to learn, and the only way we can learn those lessons if we actually do it ourselves. No one can do it for us. A higher self can't do it for us. Beautiful thing is, they are always trying to help us, always giving us these subtle messages. These subtle messages come in dreams. They come in thought form. They come in different synchronicities or symbols and signs that we may see out there in the universe, that out there in the world around us, that catch our eye. Maybe it's numbers. Maybe it's animals. Maybe it's pennies. It could be anything that you resonate with, that twings something within you that says, that means something. If it feels like that and you have that thought, then it does mean something. What it means, you might not know. And that can be the confusing part for so many people. What does this sign mean? What are they trying to tell me? I don't know, right? It's so hard to figure out because it has to be. It has to be symbolic. It has to be a puzzle for you to figure out so you can have your own aha moments. They can't do it for us. And so they do it very, very subtly in order to make us work, to make us search, to make us use our will and promote our desire to actually want to learn. And that is how we actually learn. And so the very first thing we need to do is let go of what it's supposed to look like or sound like or feel like. Let all of that go and just allow it to come however it's going to come, because it's going to come differently for different people. We all have our different clairs. We all have one that's stronger than another. Maybe all of ours are strong. Who knows, depending on how much you've been working on it. But typically, we all have one at the beginning that's going to be stronger than another. So if you're someone who is very visual, then it will come in pictures in your mind's eye, very faint pictures usually. If you're someone who is more auditory, then it will come into your mind's ears. And if you're someone who's more feeling, maybe you will feel it in your body, or feel a different sensation in a different part of your body, or in a different part of your mind, in a different part of your head. If you're a knower, see, the knowing is the hardest. It's the strongest, in my opinion, but it's also the hardest to figure out because it's just a knowing. You just know. There's nothing to put your finger on. There is nothing concrete. You will get no proof for this, I promise you. It is just a knowing. And the hard part about that, because there's no proof, you just have to let it all go, trust it, and listen. You just got to learn to trust. Just let it go and listen to that knowing. That knowing has never, ever failed you, ever. And so why do we fight it so much? Why are we so stubborn? Why can't we just believe it easier? Well, it's been deprogrammed out of us. Society has told us we were crazy, that we were too much in our imagination, that none of it was real. And all of that is a lie. All of it. You have this incredible power within you. You have the power to look into the ethers. You have access to all information within you. It's just about being able to tap in. And the tapping in requires trust and a letting go of just not expecting it to be anything. Because often our intuition feels just exactly the same as our imagination. It feels exactly the same as our imagination. What's beautiful about that is we can use our imagination to help us to increase our intuitive abilities because it literally is from the same side of the brain. Our intuition and our imagination come from the same side, so it feels the same. So if we allow ourselves to just let it go and imagine, remember, our imagination is such an incredible tool. With this tool, we have the power to create anything. The potential of anything is out there for us. Anything is possible. Everything and everything is possible. And we have the power to ignite that potential because we are magicians. We often just get in our own way. And we do that by not listening to ourselves, by not trusting ourselves because we feel like it needs to be a different kind of way because society has told us otherwise. And that's enough of that. It's just enough. We can tell ourselves, this little voice that feels ridiculous, that feels like I'm making it up, and that often I don't want to listen to because sometimes it's not what I want to hear. That's my experience. My intuition is always telling me something I don't want to hear. And that was one of the little cues that I learned. Oh, okay. Well, that's that because I would be consciously telling myself something else. I don't want to hear what you're telling me. And so that's just a little cue. Often we get that little subtle voice. We don't want to hear it. And then we will turn around and negate it in our conscious mind, reason with it, tell ourselves that that's not true for one reason or another, and then go ahead and do the thing that is going to cause us more conflict or isn't the best decision for us on our path. That little voice was trying to tell us otherwise, and it was right. So we can learn to stop negating that little voice, whether we think it's right or think it's wrong within our conscious mind. Let it go and trust it either way. Just take yourself out of it. Take the ego out of it. That is one of our biggest challenges. And, I'm not one that says, destroy the ego, let it go. No, it's a beautiful thing. We need to learn how to integrate these two aspects of ourselves. There's a reason why we have an ego, so that we can be personally aware of ourselves. Really, really important there. But we can't allow this ego aspect to take over, to be the most powerful. It thinks it is, but it's not. It's really not. We overcomplicate with our ego, where our higher self, our intuition is saying, listen, love. I promise you it's simple. It is really, really simple. Let it all go and trust that little voice within you. It never, ever lies to you. Always with you, always guiding you. It is up to you to listen to it. So work with this every day. One of the best ways to work with it is in meditation, to just sit quietly and breathe. That's all you need to do. Sit quietly and breathe. Let your imagination go. Listen to your thoughts. It's a great way to just start. Have no expectation of what it's supposed to feel like. No expectation of shutting your mind off. That's not going to work. It doesn't work that way. Doesn't work the way you expect it to. I'll just say that. So just sit quietly and breathe and allow the thoughts to come and ponder. Let your imagination run wild. Remember, you have so much power within you, and using these tools, like your intuition and your imagination, will take you really, really far. And I think that's it for me today, everyone. I'm going to leave you with this song. This is Yaima, Gajumara. Until next time, love you all.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
work is to honor the great beauty all around